joining me. Today I have a ton of really great fiction for you, and we are going to start with a brand new series about Maven and Reeve. In the Firestarter, Maven and Reeve have 3 days to solve the theft of the Firestar. If they don't, they will lose everything. In Book 2, The Wolf's Howl, Maven and Reeve find themselves at the far-flung and gloomy Glon Castle, while Sir Garrick secretly searches for supporters of the rebellion. If you have kids that love mystery and adventure and fantasy, these are going to be their new favorites. In brand new series, Leo's Map of Monsters, which kind of reminds me of a graphic novel with all the fun illustrations in there, Leo opens his assignment envelope on his 9th birthday. 2 words stare back at him: top secret. As the Guardian's apprentice, Leo must protect his village from the monsters that lurk in the surrounding forest. Armed with a slingshot, magical stones, and a strange map, Leo is given his first mission. Okay, now we're going to switch over to the younger kids and we're going to take a look at some brand new board books. These are a really great size for kids to carry themselves when they first start to learn how to flip those board book pages. In Row, Row, Row Your Boat, you get a classic retelling with John Squirrel and his friends as they take a journey down the river in their boat and they meet all kinds of great neighbors. In 10 Little Bottles Sitting on the Wall, we get a charming retelling of this classic counting rhyme that your kids are going to absolutely love. The Friendly Dragon is written by the same author as The Wind in the Willows, and in this adorable story, we get to meet Sam and his best friend, a dragon, and all of the adventures that they have together. Next up, we have 3 books that are really great for learning how to read. Our Listen and Read series are board books that have a sound button on each page, and it will actually read the story aloud to your children so they can follow along and learn the words while they're reciting their favorite fairy tales.
A sigh.
Our phonics readers are really great for teaching kids all of those important sounds as they're learning to gain confidence in their reading abilities. Whale Tells a Tale and Cockatoos on a Cruise. Each story focuses on specific phonics sounds so your kids can have that repetition to help them build those reading skills. With silly characters and funny storylines, our kids are going to have such a great time learning to read. In the back, there are some helpful tips for adults, and there's even a QR code on the back page so you can scan that with your phone or a device so they can hear the story read aloud. Okay, next we're going to talk about books that matter. Now, I know all books matter and all books are important and special, but sometimes there are some storylines that just have that extra something, you know what I mean? And these books definitely qualify. We are going to talk about feelings. We're Moving House is a really great story to help kids understand all of the challenges and difficult feelings that can come with uprooting and finding a new place to live. In Otters versus Badgers, we learn all about fighting and how that is not the best method. In this lovely story, our kids can follow along as the otters and the badgers make peace with each other and become friends at last. When You Joined Our Family is a beautiful story about adoption and helping our kids feel like they belong, no matter what our family situation might look like. Politeness for Penguins. I mean, who doesn't need to learn about politeness, am I right? And on the back, there's a QR code, so this one can be read aloud as well. In this really silly story, kids can learn how rude and upsetting penguins can be to each other and the negative effects that that has on those around them. And by the end of the tale, they learn how to be polite to each other. One More Try. Not only are these books really great for teaching our kids their shapes, but they're also really amazing for teaching them how to accept differences, how to work together, how to problem solve, and have fun while they're doing it. My Beautiful Voice. This sweet little girl is starting her first day of school and she is terrified to speak. Sometimes the other kids make fun of her, but she has this one amazing teacher who builds this really special relationship of trust and support. And she gives this little girl the confidence to finally use her voice when she's ready and when she has something really important to say. And the little girl discovers that her voice matters, and she fights through all of the challenges to let her voice be heard. And in the end, she discovers that her voice is beautiful. And don't forget, we get to gently remind our kids to do all of those things that we're constantly repeating day in and day out, like making your bed, or wearing your socks, or brushing your teeth. But as the story goes on, we also get to learn about all of those special things that we should never forget, like watching the ocean and listening to the music of the trees, like laughing and working together and belonging. If your kids love adventure, then this next stack of storybooks are for them. In Bat Can't Sleep and Frog Goes on Vacation, we have these exciting pages with peek-throughs and cutouts and really bright illustrations so our kids can enjoy interacting and exploring the pages as they read the story. Books that have a lot of really exciting features like this are great for, let's say, bouncy and excitable young children who have a hard time settling down before bed. Trust me, I know. In the Upside Down Detective Agency, somebody has stolen the Diamond Warp Drive from Lady Velocity's Speed Racer's car. And without it, she'll never win the big race. If your kids love a good detective story, they're going to love solving this mystery. Martha Maps It Out. Kids generally tend to love routines, and they love to know where they're going, when they're going there, and how they're going to get there. And so does Martha. In fact, Martha creates maps for every adventure. And that's how she knows that anything is possible. Okay, these books are so super silly. If you had not yet experienced the wrong fairy tale, you need to. In these two brand new editions of this delightful series, we get to explore Little Red Riding Hood and the Three Billy Goats Gruff. With a mixture of familiarity and new storylines, our kids get to follow characters they know as the stories twist and turn in unexpected ways. Kind of like when Cinderella meets the seven dwarfs and they both realize they're in the wrong fairy tale. But they work together and they become friends as they rewrite both of their fairy tales to fit together as one. This boy can be anything and this girl can do anything. And in these stories, our kids can learn confidence in being themselves, even if that means that they're crying or they have high energy and they jump around all the time. They can chase their dreams and not be afraid to climb those mountains, or in this case, trees, make mistakes, learn from them, and surround themselves with love. Splash was written by Claire Cashmore, who is a Paralympic gold medalist, and she wrote a little note in the back of the book that I want to read to you guys. My intention in Splash is not to draw attention to my limb difference, but instead to normalize it. Growing up with one arm, I wanted to be treated exactly the same as my sisters. At times, I had to do things slightly differently, but I didn't let that stop me. Never let anybody tell you you can't do something or that you aren't good enough. Believe in yourself and go out there and chase your dreams. Thank you so much for joining me, and make sure you check out more of my videos to see inside even more amazing brand new titles.